ba la la la, moo ba la la la, moo ba la la la. By Sandra Boynton, a cow says moo, a sheep says ba. Three singing pigs say la 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 la, the pigs say la. La la la, the pigs say la. No, no, you say, that isn't right. The pigs say oink all day and all night, and rhinos snort. And little dogs go ruff, 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 ruff.
Wow. I mean, as a parent, how do you even find time to read so many physical books? What? Oh, what's a physical book? Oh, you mean the shelf trophies for my audiobooks. This one's 45 hours long.
No.
I don't think that you would know me. Her favorite thing to say is close to me. Slut me out, slut me out.
أنا أكيد إنه رح تكيفوا بس تعرفوا إنه جبنا لكم Why Men Love Bitches، لماذا يحب الرجال العاهرات، وحتى ليش بينجذبوا لهيدا النوع من البنات تحديدا. فيكن تطلبوا نسختكم من بوكس لبنان عنا على الانستغرام. الحلو إنه عنوان الرواية 11/11، وأغلبكم إذا بتفوتوا على الكومنتس أغلبكم قايل إنه شاف الفيديو على الساعة 11/11، هالساعة يلي كلنا بنعرف إنه هي رمز للحب، وأي اتنين بيحبوا بعض بينطروها ليدعوا إنه يضلوا بحياة بعض.
Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Only hands really make me a sinner.
You're the one, you're the only one. Baby girl, we can both have fun, babe. I choose you to feel your heart, yeah. I choose you to feel your eyes, I feel you out. Tequila, down by the leader, I knew I had to meet her. I knew she might, girl, wants to be mine. She might, girl,
So get into it, yeah. I guess she ain't got it, but that fucking get into it, yeah. And I say I think I know more. Get into it, yeah. Pop out with a flow. Get into it, yeah.
Heaven in hell words to me. When my time comes around, lay me gently.
Totally realize crazy, and you see me. We were too close to the stars.
Cause once we started, baby, ain't no stopping in. Hey,
Let's do
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds, and I want to tell you the story of a man named Ryan reading bedtime stories. It's called Bedtime Stories with Ryan. The end. Also, there are sheep. Told you. Watch Bedtime Stories with Ryan on the Maximum Effort channel on Amazon Freevee.
I'm just wondering what the heck is in our water supply.
Hi there, Roseanne. My name's Ashley and I have a PhD in physics, but we're actually going to use one of my son's books to help us out with this one. Optical Physics for Babies. This is a ball. This ball is red. It reflects red light. It absorbs blue and green light. This is a clear ball. Colors pass through it. All colors combine to make white light, and white light contains all the colors. Light travels in a straight line until it hits something. Then light can be reflected or refracted. When white light is refracted, it turns into separate colors. This is called dispersion. When white light hits a raindrop, out comes a rainbow. Hope that helps.
Let's talk the Red Hand of Ulster. The Red Hand is one of the most enduring emblems in Irish iconography, rooted in Gaelic mythology. Legends say an ancient king named Lowry Lovejarrig of the Red Hand ruled over Ulster, but its popular origin myth tells of O'Neill and O'Donnell racing by boat to touch Irish shores first, with O'Neill severing his hand and throwing it to win. This bloody severed hand then became a primal symbol of sacrifice, determination and dominance in medieval Ulster. Well before Irish heraldry formalised, images of red severed hands appeared on shields, buildings and seals, asserting native cultural identity in the northern province. When Anglo-Norman knights introduced heraldry, Ulster kings retained the red hand, rather than imported European motifs. It persevered through English conquest as a visual symbol of Gaelic heritage. The Red Hand was incorporated into the flag of Northern Ireland, however, during the era of Home Rule and eventually partition. Yet its mythic meaning still resonates. While scholars debate the true origins, the Red Hand's lasting symbolic power connects today's Irish, who are aware of its origins, to the primordial legends rooted in the north. Its bloody handprint imprinted on Ireland's visual consciousness. And for a modern day mythical adventure, join the cycle and pick up my fantasy book, Black Bridge, on Amazon, on Kindle, paperback and hardback.
Go, just start reading. It was exactly what I needed. I agree. I'm feeling curiously frisky too. Alright, yeah, no. No, come on, just keep reading.
Let's talk the Morrigan. The Morrigan is a rather unique figure in Irish mythology and is one of the more well-known and more popular members of the Tuatha Dé Danann. And as we've mentioned in previous episodes, the Morrigan is a triple goddess who was known for her prophetic abilities, connection to war and death, as well as the land. And many scholars believe that the Morrigan is connected to a lot of different myths from different cultures, one of the more prominent ones being Morgan Le Fay, who was one of the great antagonists of Arthurian legends, and some believe that even their names are etymologically linked together. However, the actual meaning in Irish and Welsh are different, so that connection is a bit tenuous. And some mythological historians actually believe that the Morrigan is connected to the Banshee myth because of the Morrigan's connection to war and death, and the ominous shriek that is often said to signify her presence. Her myth has been warped and changed over the years into that of the Banshee, or that the Banshee was at least inspired by the Morrigan. And as well as the Arthurian legends, the Morrigan is maybe connected to Norse mythology with the likes of the Valkyrie, who is also said to appear on battlefields and could appear in 1 or 3s. And both the Morrigan and the Valkyries were thought to symbolise the full circle of life, as they had the power to give and take life. So this was just a quick introduction to the Morrigan, and they're often talked about as if it's one entity. But the Morrigan was thought to be made up of 3 different entities, and that's what we'll talk about next. So be prepared for a few episodes on the Morrigan. And in the meantime, if you can't get enough of Irish mythology, pick up Black Bridge on Amazon, on Kindle or paperback.
Your body like speaks to me. Yeah.
In the 70s, Stephen King was releasing so many books that his publisher kind of told him to slow down. The industry standard at the time was only 1 book a year, but Stephen King didn't want to stop releasing books, so he decided to take on a pen name. Originally, the pen name was Guy Pillsbury, after his grandfather, but people at the office kind of noticed the similarities, the connections, and so he changed it to Richard Bachman. And he went under the radar for a number of years, actually. He released some pretty notable works, Rage, The Running Man, The Long Walk. He enjoyed some pretty moderate success. The book sold pretty well. There was even a reviewer who said something along the lines of Richard Bachman is who Stephen King wishes he could be. And then in the mid-80s, he released Thinner, and there was a book clerk who started reading it and couldn't get over the similarities to Stephen King's work, couldn't get past the fact that he was reading a Stephen King novel, and so he decided to look into it further, looked at the copyrights for all of Richard Bachman's books, and noticed that they all tied back to Stephen King's publisher, except for Rage, which tied back to Stephen King himself. So he got in touch with Stephen King and kind of said, I know who you are, but I'm not going to out you. And Stephen King called the book clerk and was kind of like, what do you want to do here? But I think at that point, he kind of took it as the death of Richard Bachman. By that point in the mid-80s, publishers had eased up on their rules of 1 book a year, and I think Stephen King even released 4 books in 1 year at that point. But he was going to release Misery as a Bachman book, which I think is crazy. But I guess he just decided what's the point. And then on the same day in 1996, Richard Bachman and Stephen King both released a book. Richard Bachman released The Regulators posthumously because he was now dead. And Stephen King released Desperation. And if you put the covers together, it makes one cohesive cover photo. So anyways, I just thought that was cool.
Oh, so
you're the sound that every Sarah J. Maas character makes. No! That's growling! I just want to fuck the Darkling!
What's up, Book Talk? Let's talk about Frida McFadden's third book in the Housemaid series, which has finally been announced, has finally been put up for pre-order, and finally has a cover. So the release date for this one is June 11th, 2024. This is definitely going to be my most anticipated read of 2024. I don't even know how I'm going to make it till June. I am so excited for this book. From what I can tell, the story is going to follow Millie. A handful of years have passed since The Housemaid's Secret, and Millie is now married with children. They own a home in a nice neighborhood where their kids can play in the yard, and everything just seems like she's finally going to be able to leave her past behind her and enjoy her life. The plot picks up when one of Millie's neighbors invites her over for dinner. They go over there, and the woman who owns the house and the maid that she has working for her are giving her red flags. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this book. Like, just thinking about it, I'm so excited. And I was very surprised, like, to see that the cover reveal was a white cover, because Frida McFadden had spoken in she's got like this Facebook group for her fans where she's very, very active, and she dropped so many questions on like, what color should the last book be, what color do you think goes good with blue and red, giveaways for people who would guess the correct color, like just all this fun stuff. And I swore it was going to be purple. I was so surprised at white. I thought purple because I thought like the gemstone colors. I think it's going to be a fantastic book. I cannot wait to read this. It's up on pre-order for Amazon for the Kindle version and the paperback version, and I think she said that the audiobook version would be coming soon. I'd love to know what everyone else is thinking about this book, if you're planning on reading it, what you think about the cover. The title is different. The Housemaid is Watching. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait.